Now here's a story sent in by one of my viewers. It's a story I know a fair bit about because I was involved in a similar situation. But it is a pretty horrific sort of story and pretty graphic, so just keep that in mind before I start. So the situation was, there's this lady in this farmhouse. She's living by herself, 80 years old. Her family used to ring her up twice a day to see how she was. They tried to ring her up on this particular Sunday. No answer. Sunday night they've rang up. And they've rung up, spoken to the police and said, can you just go around and check up on her grandmother, please? She's not answering her phone. So this fellow was telling me he rocked up there with another young constable, got out of the car and could smell Sunday sort of roast. So he thought, well, something's okay here, because if the lady's cooking, she's cooking Sunday roast, everything should be fine. So they'd gone and knocked on the door a few times, couldn't get in. Window's a bit open, so he's climbed in through the window and he could really smell this strong cooking smell when inside the house. But it wasn't as it seemed. Unfortunately, the lady had gone for a bath. She'd put a 3-bar heater on the end of the bath because it was a cold winter's time. The heater had fallen into the bath, and normally a fuse would blow. But what had happened, this fuse had been blowing all the time, and someone had decided, instead of putting fuse wire there, they'd put a nail across through the fuse. So that turned the bathtub into like an electric jug. So it electrocuted her and then started boiling, and sadly enough, boiled most of her flesh and skin off her bones, and it was like basically chicken soup. So absolutely horrific, terrible thing. Just goes to show you how something fairly easy, fairly simple, you get a bit cranky, you're blowing a fuse and you think, I'll put a nail across there. I'd never do it, but I can see how some people would. And then it stopped the fuse from blowing, so it's turned this bathtub into an electric kettle, basically boiled the bathtub. She's passed away, and whether she couldn't get out or whether she was electrocuted, I don't know. He didn't tell me any story, but I am familiar. It is a true story. And that's, I suppose, one big reason why you should only let electricians play with your fuses.